All right, so today we going to review, right? We're gonna review all the things that we learned in React, just so that y'all can see it again. And to be honest, like seeing something a second time, like really makes you realize that you understand more than you thought you did. And then you also start connecting more dots because it's not like you're learning something completely new where you got to pay attention to every single thing. You just paying attention to like the part that you were confused about. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll also learn some new stuff towards the end. Now, like I put in the chat, we're going to be ending a little bit early at 11:50 because of the orientation for the next class.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I personally like to, transition to the next class too. Where does that, or when does it start? When is that actually?
So the orientation is right after this class, actually. It's going to be on a different link. I'm gonna add you to the group chat.
All right.
Yeah. The next class is gonna be like different than this class. Like literally, it's gonna be much more intense, like than this one. It's just me getting better and better each iteration. So
is there going to be a new Udemy course or is it the same Udemy course?
Same Udemy course. We're not going to go through all the projects, and some of the projects it's going to be completely new. Like
I mean, that's cool, but like, what about like the basics of HTML, CSS? Is that going to be still in the course?
Yeah, all of that. So in the beginning, like before we start the project stuff, all of that beginning stuff is the same, like the fundamentals. But as soon as we get to the project section, like I'm gonna just be throwing like so when we finish the HTML CSS, I'm gonna give each group, I'm gonna split up into groups, and each group is gonna get their own projects, and y'all gotta figure it out amongst yourselves. Like I'm not even giving a solution. I'm just gonna build this.
Basically what they knew on the job.
Yeah. I'll say build this. You get creative, and then you present it in front of the class. On Sundays. Sundays is like presentation day, and yeah, all through, and even when we get to the project section, like we're gonna do a project, and then I'm gonna give a project to each group, and then y'all gotta figure out how to do it. Like however y'all figure it out. You know what I mean?
Is that really what they do on the job? Go ahead and hook this up. Yeah. Like they give you the assignment, you got to figure it out.
Yeah. That's how it works. So the exact process is first the business people talk to, like they're called the product owners. They talk to the people that's using the app. They do like user studies, and they say, okay, what are the pain points? What do you need like in this app? Like what new features you need and stuff like that. And even if they're creating a whole new app, they'll ask them, what would you like to see? Like what's going to help you do your job better? And then the product owners talk to the UI UX team. UI UX team, they draw up the different they draw up the different like screens and stuff. Like what's that drawing? Like Photoshop. They'll do Photoshop, but more specifically, they do something called Figma. And Figma it's basically like Photoshop, and it's just like a standard. I don't know why I'm not really in that space, but I know they draw it up on like Figma. And then from there, they bring it to the tech team. They say, here is the screen that I want you to create, like in the Figma. Like they say first, this is the problem statement. Like this was the problem. This is what the users need. Here's the screen, and let's start building like this app. And we build it like piece by piece, like literally. Like if there's like 10 things on the screen, we'll start with like one of them or maybe two of them or something like that, and then we'll build that out. And then we'll keep building small pieces of the app until it's complete. And it's never complete, really, but yeah, that's the process. Yeah, people always want more when it comes to apps. They always want a new feature. They always want something. It's kind of amazing how many ideas you get. So, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do in the next class. I'm gonna give you like a small layout of what I want you to build, and y'all take the layout and y'all can just rework it, or y'all can build it exactly to whatever. But it's gonna be a lot of group projects. So
it's just like those boxes for the.
Can I recommend
that we did? Is it like those boxes for the last project that we did?
The box. Oh, like the one in React.
Yeah, the one where you just
Yeah.
showed us the pictures and we had to in a crud store.
Yeah, it's gonna be little small projects like that. Nothing that looks pretty, just like, like make it functional, make it do
Okay.
things. So go ahead, Tyler.
Okay.
Hey, first of all, I want to just just congratulate Coach Jay Chavez for his amazing work that he did with our young people in the hackathon. The hackathon ended yesterday after 5 weeks, but we spent weeks before just planning and organizing and getting ready for our young people. And his team, was one of the top winning teams. I just wanted to give him a shout out right quick. And of course, Isaiah did an amazing job with his presentations, laying the foundation for our young people to be able to actually build some really cool projects. And he came in at the end to judge them as well. So I was really grateful to both those brothers, for their contributions and their commitment to our young people. I really believe that if we can increase these opportunities for our young people, we have a great shot at not only building good coders or good, technology professionals, but good people. A lot of young people. I saw Jabez, doing some, really character building too, and it was needed. A lot of young people, definitely are in need of that guidance, and so I just wanted to say that. But one of the things I learned from that experience, and I wanted to see if you could implement, is that the teams that we created, hackathon teams, I think really worked very well. And Jabez, you can chime in here, but I was wondering, have you thought about creating or dividing the students in your next cohort into teams, so then they can kind of develop that type of collaboration that our hackathon teams got. It would even be even more super if you had like mentors, like we could, almost kind of layer over this class and make them the mentor for the next class, but at least, creating teams for the next class.
Yeah. The way I was thinking about it was for each project, I would like group people like randomly in the class. And the reason I was going to do it randomly is because like I wanted everyone to know everyone. So that way it's not like awkward, kind of like talking like in class. It'll make people more comfortable. But I was definitely going to do a whole new group during each project, and then on top of that, like I mean, what you're saying, it sounds really nice. But I think the struggle is going to be that people are going to start dropping out of the class. I think
and that happens. But I was wondering that if you actually do kind of create more permanent teams, then that can actually encourage people to stay in, because they have somebody who they know that they built up, kind of a rapport with, and it's kind of like you don't want to let the rest of your team that you do know you have commitment to. If you switch up everybody, then it's more difficult to build that type of commitment. But
that's actually a good point. Yeah, you know what? I'll actually, I'm gonna think about that. Like, I'm leaning towards doing that because they actually, like, I do want them to feel like they're like part of something, and like there's a consequence to them just leaving or whatever. And that might actually keep the numbers up. So yeah, that's a good perspective to yeah.
I think it might be the best of both worlds. Why don't you do it and be like the same team, like maybe the first half, and then switch it up at some point throughout. So that way, the people do get to know each other, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. So those are two. I mean, they're two good points, man.
Yeah, I might even now that I'm thinking about it, if I do like maybe a mixture of both, like maybe I can have like a group, like groups of like three, right? And then like those groups will be used to do like the easier projects. But then when we get to a harder project, maybe I'll combine two groups. And I think keeping them with one group will keep them like, they'll feel a sense of belonging. And then combining groups together, like maybe group one and group two, to do this big project, and that'll like help them get to know other people as well. I think that'll be the best of both worlds. Actually, let me break that down.
Shit, they might be able to pick names and team names and everything, dog.
Yeah.
Fly free. That was Coach Chavez's team name.
Shout it out. Fly free. Come on now. Talk to me now. Yeah, no, I appreciate that shout out. Like definitely so. And it's funny because that app was actually built from scratch. Like not scratch the program, but actually from blank screen. So, they put in a lot of work. Um, yeah. So I'm extremely happy with the turnout. My group did a really good job. I ended up getting them some trophies, and everybody on my team got a trophy. So I sent my whole team, all the ones that were active on the final day. I sent them all a trophy.
Oh, really?
Them on in their position. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. Now, where did you get them from?
Oh, I just got them from Amazon. Did some custom engraving. You know what I'm saying? And just had them delivered to their houses.
Oh man, that is
Shit, I
awesome. Can you,
with their name and their position on my team,
no
like
way.
the
So
title that I gave them.
when were they were already delivered before yesterday, or they're on the way?
No, so literally yesterday I delivered them. So
Wow.
right after I got, so we had a little celebration meeting after we were done with the hackathon. We just, about an hour or 45 minutes or something like that, just played a game together. You know what I'm saying? As our final kind of team meeting to celebrate and all that good stuff because we won a couple of categories, and plus we worked extra hard, so it was like it's time for us to celebrate. Shoot, we finna throw that completion party. You know what I'm saying? So we played the game a little bit, and then I got everybody's address, and after that, you know, I said my final goodbyes. I almost cried a little bit, almost shedded a tear. It was a thug tear, you know what I'm saying? I almost shedded one though. And then like they don't know, but I'm gonna send them, or I had sent already a trophy. So literally right after the party, I ordered all of the trophies for every person that was active the last day on my team.
Oh, that's cool. Look, please, in our checkout meeting tonight, can you share the link? And I'm gonna try to see we can go ahead and splurge and get all the young people trophies. That's a wonderful idea, brother.
All right. I'm just, well, it was on Amazon, so I just send you a link to some trophies, and then that way, what I'm saying, y'all can have some trophies. But I can't
Yeah.
give my team trophies. I gotta keep them. I gotta keep them custom. Fly free different. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
Fly free
understand that.
different. But
I
I'm gonna send you
understand
some
that. But
trophies though.
definitely, I think that's a great idea to get all the young people. I mean, it's a great idea. I'm saying it's a great idea. I want to do it, but it all going to be dependent upon how much money we can get in from our sponsors. But I think that's a real sweet idea.
Yeah, it was the trophies was only about like $9 a pop. The
Okay.
big tax was from the shipping. So I end up paying like 20, like almost $30 a trophy.
So you don't got Amazon Prime? I don't pay no shipping.
Really? Maybe we should have you order them, Isaac. we could shave off a few dollars that way.
Yeah, I got the yearly subscription because I order like all the time. So
Hey, Isaiah, I got a couple books I need you to grab for me.
But by the way, I don't want us to get too close far into the class. Isaiah, are you going to put that link into the in the information?
the link for you're saying wait.
The link for the next class?
Oh yes. Let me. I'm gonna add you to the group chat. Actually,
Okay.
me and the link you'll see the link is in there. And I'm gonna re-put it in there too. Where is it? Got so many group
Oh,
chats. On.
I was just gonna say too, like, so basically what I was doing, and I don't know if this is right or wrong. Yeah, I doubt it's wrong, but I'm going through the whole Udemy course, And I'm pretty much, like you said, just redoing every single project in React. Like I started with the time app. I haven't finished building it, but I laid it out on the screen. So it's helping me get used to the style tags and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's actually, I don't know, it's actually pretty cool how different it is building it in React and then seeing it on the screen come together like real quick. Like I kind of want to, and I'm debating this, like build exactly what you have minus the like super duper perfected style, but build the tab that goes in and out, lay out the picture, lay out the button, and all that good stuff with the text on the screen. Like I'm debating on whether I should do that or not, all within the app. See if I could build literally the whole thing, the whole compartment, and all of the apps within it within React.
Yeah, that'll be
So
good.
I'm debating on that.
Um, Today I was actually thinking about building like a landing page with React, but like maybe it's even a better idea to just build the to build one of the apps in React um that I have on the yeah, you know what, that's what I'm actually doing. And we will build the let's see, we can build like the Pokemon app actually. I think that's the best one to build because it has like APIs in it. It's not too difficult to build, and like as far as like it's not too involved. I think the most involved thing is the actual like
API
pictures and
call.
images and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, Tyler, I added you to the chat also. Let me I'm gonna share my screen really quick, and we'll just start building that Pokemon app. Actually, I think that's good. I think that's a good idea. Zoom screen. Okay, so I have open the app. But we'll build this one, this Pokemon app. I'm literally just gonna build it exactly the same. Like you're gonna see how I take the HTML from the original project and then transfer it over to React. So now I think that's a really good way to so y'all to get the flow of this. And I already have a React app open. I did a whole new one. I did the whole create React app and I just named it review. And I have, let me open up the last project. Then we'll start building that Pokemon app minus everything else. We literally just gonna have a square on the screen. You'll see what I mean when we start. Um, okay, so when you start building something in React, the very first thing you want to do is look at all of the different components that you could potentially build. Now, for me, looking at this Pokemon app, I'm seeing a few different components. Now, let me take a screenshot of this actually, so I can do some highlights. So the first thing I see, right, is this big. Why am I did not mean to draw on there. Let me see. Here we go. All right. The first thing I see is this big area right here, right? If this is my whole app, like this whole area is going to be app.js. Like that's the main app. Like that's where everything is going to be inside of. Then I'm starting to see different sections. First section I see is here. I see a search box and I see like a picture here. And I can even break this down into different components, just the picture and just the search box. And if we break it down that way, we're able to change this picture. And like, I mean, we don't have to break it down this way, but I'm gonna just do it this way anyway, just so that we can see like more stuff. Next section I see is this with all of the stats. And the next one is maybe even, yeah, I guess this whole thing, this whole section, and this whole section could be broken down into like this link and the aid. Now, to be honest, I'm probably overdoing this. I could literally just put all of this in the same component. But just for actually, yeah, I'm just gonna put this all in the same component. These two, I'm gonna keep broken up into different components.
It's
So
kind of like the HTML tables, and they break them down like that just to make things more controllable.
right, right, yeah, yeah, yeah. You think of it exactly the same. So, yeah, I'm gonna maximize this. Actually, I'll keep this minimized so I won't get confused. And I'm gonna go to this is the React stuff right here. So inside of here we got this app folder. Now I'm gonna start building folders for the other stuff that we have. Um, I'm gonna do a components folder because that's gonna hold all of the different React components. And inside of there, let me put this next to this. We'll have this component, and I'll name this component top area or something. I don't know. I'll just say like top, and then like this one I'll say like stats, and this one I'll say like actually I'll say search. I'll say search area for that one. Let me create a folder. Search. It's better if these are capital. Search area, and I'll create another folder. I'll say stats. Actually, I'll just name this search just to keep it simple. And this section, I'll name this Pokemon.
Reference.
You said reference. Yeah, I can do that.
Reference.
I'll name it ref. Okay. All right, I'll name this reference. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna start creating these components. So stat, I'll just put a file in there. I'll just say stats.js, and then I'll also put a CSS file in here, stats.css, and I'll do the same for search and reference. File search.js. We'll have a search.css. Let me just do a little shortcut here. .js, and then reference.css. Okay, so now we got all of the components here. Now the next thing that we have to do is bring in those components into app.js. I'm gonna delete some of this stuff because we don't need it. We don't need this logo. I'm gonna keep the CSS file. I'm gonna delete everything that's inside of here. Delete all of that stuff. Let me save this. I'm even gonna delete this logo down here because we're not using this. Just a little cleanup, move the trash. And we should have a blank screen. Let me go to the screen here. Just a blank screen now. So if we look at this, oh, actually, let me bring in those components really quick. I'm going to import the components above the CSS. And this is just like my preference of like how I order this stuff. So I'm gonna import stats. Oh, actually I can't import yet. First I gotta export. Let me go inside of stats.js. I'm gonna create a component stats dot stats. I turn to an arrow function. Why is my keyboard freezing? Here, it's going to return. I'm just going to give it a div. And I'll just say stats here. Then I'll do an export default of stats. That's me exporting it. And I'm going to also bring in the CSS. Import stats.css, right? And I'm gonna do the same thing with the other stuff. We'll do the search. And I'm also going to do it to reference. Okay. All right. So I got reference, I got search, and I got stats. Now I'm going to bring all of those into app.js. I'll put those up here. Import reference. From reference, you see that it autocomplete for me. Import stats and import, what was it? Search. This part, I really like the text editor. I don't have to do too much.
Question.
Yeah.
When you to import React from React DOM, when do you use the React DOM?
For
what is the React DOM?
React DOM. You're saying inside of
usually it's inside of index.
This one.
React DOM from React DOM client.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I don't even think this is something I even explained, to be honest. So React DOM is like a virtual, it's called a virtual DOM. So DOM is document object model. Remember from HTML, that's the DOM. So the React DOM is like a virtual, like React's version of the DOM or React's version of HTML's of the HTML that's on the screen.
Oh, sure, I think I get it.
Yeah, it's its own environment, which is why we're able to return JSX. It's creating its own HTML page, basically. So
I don't have to put the React DOM in my app.js folder because it's in my index.js folder.
Yep, and this comes whenever you do the create React app. It automatically does this. This strict mode here, this just keeps. We don't need this. This makes sure everything is like strict. I don't even think I even went over this in JavaScript, but it basically controls the way you code. Now there are certain situations where like what you write is technically right, but they don't want you to write it that way, and like they'll say, actually, can you change this to whatever? To make it look more standard. Now, I don't have any exact examples because I think I just I just code like that just by default, just from me just coding over and over again. I never ran into any strict mode errors myself. So, but yeah, if you ever do see something that say, hey, can you change that to something else? And it's probably because it is this strict mode here. But yeah, so back to app, right? I think I got an error. Did I get an error? Yes, I got errors. Cannot resolve this and that. Oh, okay. All right. So I put this, I imported this. It wants me to be exact. The dot slash. Like this and this is generally supposed to be the same, but sometimes, and it's probably because of that strict mode. Now that I think about it. If I remove that strict mode, it's probably gonna say, let me see. That's what C was gonna say. I feel like it's no, it's the same. Okay, never mind. But that's an example of what I mean by strict mode, even though this is not an exact case of that. But it want me to do dot slash here to bring that in, which is literally the same thing, but I mean, this is how they want to see it. So dot slash and then dot slash here as well. Dot slash. Okay. It's loading. Okay, so no errors. Perfect. I'm going to go back to app and I'm going to put all of those components on the screen. Now, if we look at this, we have the search first, then we got the stats, and then we got the reference here. So I'm gonna put it in order just like that. So we have search here. We have stats. we have reference. Okay, save that. And here we see search, stats, reference. Got all three components in there. So this is the start of this app. Now that we got all three components on there, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start making this look like the same as here. So the first thing I see is this red background here. I know this app has to have the red background. So before I put the red background, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna style this. I'm gonna style the app. See, it has a class name of app. So I'm just gonna go to style. I'm just go to app.css. Let me delete all this stuff. We don't need this. Target the app CSS. This was the class name app. I'm gonna give it a height and width, and I'm gonna give it like a random background color before I put like that image on there because I want to make sure this looks good. I'll do like 20, do like 10M, and remember one M is 16 pixels, so that's literally 160 pixels. So I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna give it a background color too, so that we can see it. Background color, I'm just gonna say black for now. All right, cool. So I'm actually gonna put that in the center of or not exactly in the center, but I'm just gonna put it. I'm gonna center it horizontally, and then I'm gonna give it some padding up top, the top and bottom. So I'm gonna give it 4M padding, top and bottom, and I'm gonna do an auto to center it horizontally. So we have it here. Obviously I'm zoomed in, but you get the point of it. So this is our app. Now what we want to do is, and please stop me if anybody have any questions. Now I'm going to add this red background here. Now that background is actually a picture. So if I go to, where is it? Here. I'm gonna open up this folder. I'm just gonna put that picture inside of the other one. This one. Oh, I didn't realize I already had the I already had the Pokedex inside of the picture itself. So we're not gonna put a section for that. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm literally just gonna put that inside of the React folder. I'll even create. Let's see. So everything has to go inside a source. Everything your app sees is inside of the source folder. And I'm just gonna make an assets folder here where I'm gonna put the image. I'll just paste that in there. Okay, cool. And this is what I was saying about that Pokedex. It's already in the picture, so we don't have to add a component. We got this in that picture also, so yeah. So now we have assets folder here, and we got this this picture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a background image instead of doing this background color. Background image URL. We want to get it from assets and then Pokedex, and then I'll start actually putting like the sizing and stuff. I'll do background size here, and I'll just do cover to cover the entire screen. I feel like this should be it. Let me see what happens here when this, okay. All right, so that looks good. I mean, we still got to change these, but we got the background image on there. So now what we're going to do is we'll start styling the search component. Remember, that has to look like this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm literally just going to transfer the HTML and CSS over to the search component. This is the search component. Let me go to the HTML.
It should be a text box, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. But I'm not sure exactly how. I feel like I might have given it a class and then given it some styling. But yeah, it's just a text box. What was it? Pokedex. Okay. So it was literally, yeah, literally just a text box. That's all it is. So this, I'm gonna just copy this and paste that here. And we got, let me see, we have input. Okay, so JSX has its own version of inputs. I feel like it might be capital I. I hope I gotta do a quick search on how this is supposed to look, because let me see. So if I hover over that again, it's saying JSX, this input, React detail, blah blah. HTML element input has no corresponding tag closure. Oh, we need a closing tag. Like that. Let's see what happens. I was gonna. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so we can use inputs. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's start changing this a little. I'm just gonna space this out a little bit just so I can see everything that's here. This, okay. And with JSX, I can't even order it like this. I have to keep that on the same line. Wait, it was the quote. That's what it was. Okay, no, we're good. All right, so in React, I know that this is a little bit different. This on key up, and I believe it's camel case on key up like that. Placeholder, I feel like it might be camel case as well. Actually,
you don't gotta put them commas up in there.
Yeah, the wait.
Commas in between each of the attributes.
No. So these are just attributes. Yeah, you can put as many. Yeah, that's all the same.
I thought you had to hit them commas up at the end of each one.
Like this.
So ID comma. Yep.
No. Yeah, since these are just attributes, this is just we not putting the JavaScript in there until we use the curly brackets.
But you got to do that for the style tag because you're using an object.
Right. Exactly. You use the right. Exactly. So this is really the JavaScript part right here. So let me create this and I'll change this up. I'll just say get book my info. Just create and it looks weird. I'm creating a function inside of a function. Like that's type of stuff. So that's this, and I'll just do like a console log or something like that, just so that let's see, clicked, just so that we know we actually clicked it. And I'm going to one thing to note. You see how I'm calling this function right here. Whenever whenever you do it in HTML. In React, I don't think you call it like that. I think you just put the function like that, and then just by itself. I'm gonna test it out though, just to see if I'm right on that. Open up the dev tools, and got a few errors. Did you mean on key up? Oh, yeah. Let me refresh. I think that was the error from before. Yeah, that was the error from before. That's before I changed it to the camel piece. So if I press, okay, so yeah. So I was right on that. You don't have to call it like inside of the HTML. You just put the function name by itself. Literally every time I type, it says, I shouldn't have put click. I should have put key up or something like that, because it's literally firing on the key up, on the key up, what's it called, an event. So if I do a refresh, because it's not going to completely refresh because of React. So on key up gets fired every time I press inside of that box. So that works. All right, so now we gotta style this, because now we have this over the actual image. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the styles from this project, if there are any. I feel like I did some styles for the input boxes. Let me just go to the CSS, see if there's anything in there. Okay, this one. Yeah, I did. There's a few actually. I'm going to copy all of the stuff. So that, all of that. I don't even think I'm using this one. So I'm just going to do all of these. And I'll put all of these inside of search.css. Save that. See if anything changes. Oh, so it's a lot bigger. And it's probably this big because I don't have the exact height and width of this red area. I'm just going to give that the height and width that it's supposed to have. And I think that had a class of
Would it be easier just to copy the whole folder, like the whole just main.css?
It would. I feel like it would be overkill though. Like
it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can easily just get the styles so from here. Like this one, this box. Let's see.
Oh, you know, you can do that. That makes sense.
This one has, but yeah, I could do that if I just wanted to just dump everything in there, and I think it would have came out right. But let me see. This one has a class of full size, and so I'm going to wait. Yeah, let me add that class. Let's see, full size. Where is it? So here, I'm just going to add this. I'm going to add that to. Actually, no, we don't need that. We don't need that one.
That can explode.
Yeah. Let me see.
That's a full size, you say?
Oh wait, large panel. That's what I'm looking for. Large panel gives it the height and width that we need. So large panel is here, and this is these are the stylings I want for the app JS. So I'm going to put that inside of here, and
take off that overflow hidden.
Overflow hidden. I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good with this. I think it's not. I don't think it's used in the Pokemon app, but I think I just put it for like different apps just in case. But yeah, we don't need it actually. Let me give this another class. We'll keep app. Actually, no. We'll just I don't know what I'm.
It gotta keep the app class name.
Yeah, I'm just going to actually. I can just add another one. I can add another one. And I'm gonna get rid of this height and width because we don't need that. We're going to use this height and width here. We save this, and I'm going to add another class in there because we can give it more than one class. So like that, just like in just regular. I'm not even sure we even made use of this in the class, but yeah, you give it multiple classes like this. So
just a young space in that mug, and it's good to go, huh?
Let me zoom out now. Back to 100%. Okay, cool. So for some reason this is still not lining up like it's supposed to.
Hard refresh.
Let's see. Hard reload.
Okay.
It's fine. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see exactly what's going on. So this input box is inside of, let me see if this has any extra style in here. All right, so yeah, here we go. So Pokemon search, it does have the ID. So if I go to, here, we do see that it has the ID. So we'll add that inside of here. We'll just say, I'm going to copy and paste the actual ID. Right. Okay, save this. Let's see. Okay, cool, perfect. So now it looks exactly the same. Yep. All right, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is create the stats one. Now I want you to notice like I'm not actually filling in like the JavaScript yet, like this function here. I'm gonna do this last after I get all the HTML and CSS together. That's generally like the best way to do it. So I'm gonna do stats, the stats section next. And stats is, let's go to the HTML. Stats is all of this stuff. So I'm gonna just copy this and paste that inside of stats.js. Put that here. Do a format document. Okay, cool. So formatted it for me. Now we always got to change these classes to class name instead. So class name.
Can't you do a search and replace? So
Right.
search for class and then replace it with class name.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that. Oh wait, I just messed that up. Okay, cool.
Class name.
Right. So class name, that's good. Just looking at all the other tags. I think everything else looks good. Yeah. So now I'm going to bring in, well, let me see how it looks really quick. This is without the CSS, obviously. So now I'm going to bring in all the CSS. We have Pokemon stats. So let's see where that is inside of here. Actually, I'll just copy the whole Pokemon section and just throw that inside of Pokemon here. I'll copy all of this stuff. I'm going to put this inside of stats.css. Save that. Let's hope it comes out right. Okay.
Don't you want to throw it in app?
Oh,
app.js?
We have, say it again.
Or don't you want to throw it in app.css? Would that be?
No, you want to put
level?
it. Yeah, I mean you could put it there, but I try to keep it all together. Like that's all the CSS, this Pokemon CSS is part of so all of that stuff is hold on. We have all of those, all these IDs. We got the Pokemon stat, Pokemon weight, stat, like all of this stuff is inside of this stats component. You know what I mean? So that's why I put it all together inside of here. But I see what you're saying. Like, I mean, we could have put it up top. And the error that we're getting, it's telling us that it can't find something. And it's because we didn't put it there. Cannot resolve assets dot Pokedex dot CSS. Right. So if we go to the folder that this is in here, does it have where's the Pokedex?
That was the background.
Did I catch it? Oh yeah, it was, wait, what was it saying?
That was the background, Pokedex.png.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
hold on. No, that's not it. It says cannot resolve. How is it? How can it resolve that? And that's inside of stats. So stats. Let's see. Yeah, that should be the JavaScript file. So here, it's trying to resolve. Let me see something. Okay, this. What is Pokedex? Isn't that, that's this? I'm wondering why. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need this. I gave, yeah, you know what?
Did you name that folder assets? Or
I had
something
gave this the Pokedex background. Yeah, I have the assets folder here, but I'm not sure why it's trying to let me go to the actual app. let me see what's going on here. I'm not sure why it's trying to do it that way. So we have, okay. I think I see what's going on. So where is it? Okay, I search, let me go to stats. I think I see what's going on. All right, so we don't need this here. This was the app that we just this was app basically, like this was that red background stuff. But since we already did it in an app, we don't need it. We don't need it here. That was done here. This stuff here. Now, obviously, we had more. We had more of the CSS stuff inside of here. Let me see.
So basically, what you just erased is the Pokemon stuff that you copied and pasted a few minutes ago, right?
The background, all the
Yeah,
CSS for the background image.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay. You just didn't need that one part, basically, right?
Yeah. I could have. I'm just gonna dump. I'm just gonna put all of this directly inside of here because this is what it's really supposed to be, like this. So background image, um, background size cover. I even gave it a font family. I forgot all about that. This relative. I don't do position relative. One error. So the error is it's looking for the egg picture. Remember that the egg was this default, and I just gotta put that egg inside of the other one. Okay, so here we go. So egg is here, and I'm gonna put that inside of the React one.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah. Source assets. I'm gonna put that in there, and then I also have to redo the path to the egg because now we're inside of stats CSS. So this is up a few more folders than just that. So if I do two dots slash, I gotta go up another level inside of assets, and then it's egg.png. Save that. And everything looks like it's good. Actually, this is not even supposed to be in this component. And I'm thinking about it. This is supposed to be inside of the reference component. I'm gonna just put this in here because this is where the A goes. But it's fine. So we have like the darker area here. Now we gotta now all of this stuff gotta go inside of this box right here. Now I'm gonna see how I did that on this side. I'm supposed to have white text also, and it's not doing that right now. So that is in here, Pokemon stats, and so we got that.
Play flex something.
Yeah, I feel like it's a flex column. All right, so I gotta put all of these classes in there. Let me make sure to see if I even brought all of that stuff in there. So inside of stats, CSS, stats.js, we have some class names. Yeah, there's a few classes we didn't bring in. So let me bring this one in. Let me search for that. That's this. So we need this one. I'm gonna put that inside of the CSS file. Oh wait, that's already there. We just need the flex one then. So this one, and we need this one also. So flex column, we need align start as well. So we need this one, we need this one. We put that in here. And what else are we using? And I'll actually put this in the top level because this is not specific to the stats. Those other components might use it. I'm not even sure, to be honest, but I'm gonna put that inside of CSS.
I think you're using Flex too.
Say it again.
I think you're using Flex as well, the Flex class in your app.
Okay, let me add that. I'm just gonna add. Yeah, I'm gonna add this. Yeah, put that in the top level. Put that. Actually, I'm just gonna copy all this. I don't want to keep. I'm just gonna think all of this stuff here has to do with Flex. So I'll just paste all that here. Save that. Let me see if it looks right now. Almost. So almost there. Now let's figure out what else we're missing. So we got stat row. Let me open up this CSS for these. Okay, so that's way too big. It's not supposed to be that big. Go back here, hover over this. This is a lot smaller. Let me see if I give that a height or something like that. And if I did, where did that height come from? Not give it a height. Let's see. Pokemon stats. Height 71 pixels. I'm just gonna manually fix this. So I'm gonna manually fix this. So these are way too tall, to be honest. And I'm even seeing these components stack on top of each other. So we're gonna fix that also. So this one, if I was to give that a height of 100%, let me see what that does. Okay, so it fills up the height. Oh, okay. I think I know what's going on. I think those paragraphs inside of there. Yeah, is it the paragraphs? Yeah, I think these paragraphs had to have a zero margin. I think that's what it was. Let me double check that. Yeah, yeah. I gave it the CSS the CSS reset. So let me put the CSS reset over. So I'm gonna copy all of this. Let's put that in here. I'm gonna put that all the way up top because I want to overwrite any of this if I overwrite it at the bottom. And I put that inside of app CSS. Save that. And let's see. Okay, perfect. Just like we want it. Now we just got to give it a color of white. I'm not sure where this came from. Let's see, how did we get the color here? And we can filter it also. I'm just gonna write color. So anything with color is gonna show up here. Okay, we gave everything the color of white inside of the whole body. And to be more specific, yeah, so we did this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go inside of stat CSS and I'm just gonna give the whole stat component. I'm just gonna give this a class name and I'll just say stat, stats, the S. And I'll give that a CSS class of color white. Okay. Cool. All right, so now we got that. And like I said, we're gonna fix this overlapping stuff right here also. But first I'm gonna do ref. And ref, all that has inside of it is this aid right here. Oh, so it has a link and an aid, it looks like. So we'll get that stuff in there. Go to HTML. And that stuff is here. I may have copied this into the other component by accident, but let me first put that in here really quick. And then so format document. I'm going to take it out of, I think I put it inside of stats by accident. Did I put it in there? No, I didn't. Okay, all right, we're good. So ref is here. Let me make sure, see how this looks. So we got this and that. Now I'm gonna give it some styling. We have the ID of Pokemon. Is that inside of, I feel like I put that inside of stats. Yeah. No, I did not. All right, so it's fine. So I'm gonna look for the style for this to see if there's any styling. And I'll do that inside here, CSS. Okay. This one. So we put that inside of here.
You double
Save this.
down on it. That's a double.
This a what?
You already had it in there.
Oh,
That's how you got the background
right.
image of the egg.
Right. You're right. All right, so that's there already. So what am I missing? I feel like I'm missing like a display flex or something like that because it's not centered. Let me see. Um, why does not center? Yeah, that and that. Yeah, the parent part has like a display flex on it or something. All right, so this is the parent right here. And
Is there any margin on the egg, maybe, or heading on the egg?
let me see. The egg.
I'm seeing a flex column in there.
So that's the egg right there. No, it just has it just has the regular stuff and the reset CSS. Um, let me look at the parent really quick. I think it's this one. Let me see what this one has. Yeah, so it has flex column. I think this is probably maybe is what's on it, but it's fine. I'm just gonna center it myself. I'm gonna just where is it? I'm just gonna center it myself. So it's inside of this div, right? I'm just gonna give this div a display flex. Okay, and
Line center.
content, yeah, line center, line item center, and I'm gonna do a flex direction of column. Okay, and that puts everything where it needs to be. That's why I like Flexbox. Um, let me, I'll put that on, I'll put that on the parent also. So I'll just name that reference. And I'll give the parent, which is that div, the class name of reference. And it's all, everything is good. So now we have to, I hope y'all seeing like how, how we're like building this out, like just literally component by component. So now we got to adjust this. This looks a little weird. So this top one, uh, this top div, and to be honest, let's actually use the React component thing here inside of the DevTools. So we know that's search for sure. That top component, and if we do, let's see. Okay, so we can even use this. All right, so that top component is search. So I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go back here. This is search. I'm gonna give that a height. I feel like if I give it a height, it'll push everything else down. I'm gonna just say height of 2M. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a height of, I still want the egg to be on top of that thing though. Let me see, does it look exactly like that? Okay, so it's a little bit more on the panel. So give it a height of, let's say 3.4 to 3.6. I'm gonna just give, let me see, 4.2. I'm gonna say 4.2. And I'm gonna push the stats component down. I'm gonna give that some margin to push that down a little bit. So this was that was the search. I'm gonna put that on the top component. Class name search. Let's go in here. Let's target that. Search. I really should be copying and pasting and not what's it called? Just typing it out. So for this one is that the stats. Yeah, this is stats component right here. I'm gonna give this some margin. Margin, give it the margin top. Margin top. Let's say 1M. Okay, that's pushing there. That's pushing too much stuff down. All right. It's just this is not overlapping over here, is it? No, it's not. So why is it overlapping here? All right, so I'll just give this margin of 1M. If I give that margin of 1M, if I decrease this height, would that do anything? No, it's going to put me right back where I started. Let's see. So one of the problems is this stuff is coming outside of this. Why is that happening? Input.
Is it because you're moving everything in pixels?
So it should be the same, like because M transfers to pixels. So 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 if I take this height out, right, like that should have fit inside of there. For some reason it's not. Let me go back to here real quick. I want to see, I think that's where that's where it threw everything off. Like it doesn't fit exactly inside of there. And I had to adjust that height just to make it fit. So we had this whole thing here. Then right under that, stack that component. Okay, so these two things, this div and this input section is not stacked. It don't like it's stacking. Wait, actually, yeah, we built this different fundamentally. So that's that's why we gotta do all this extra stuff. Literally built this different. It's fine. For now, we just gonna keep it like that instead of me trying to what's called adjust this. I'm gonna keep it like this for now because I just want to get to the functionality. we'll get back to this later. Either way, we have most of this stuff already put together. Now for the Pokemon app, when we clicked the reference, I'm not sure if it's going to do it. Okay, so the reference still works. We can click that and it goes to another page. So that's perfect. Now, I remember every time we type this out of here, we made an API call to get some information about the Pokemon. So that's what we're going to do. We'll make an API call. And from there, I'll teach you how to make API calls with React. Let me go to, what was it? Pokemon JS here. And this is what we did here. So I'm literally going to copy all of this and I'm gonna change this to copy this whole thing actually. We'll just update this to do it in React. Put this here like that. And I think this will actually work if we use fetch because it's still JavaScript.
So like
the ID is not
ID because we got the util.
Right. Let me go to util.js. Get by ID. It's here. So I'm just going to make a util here as well. So I'll say, and yeah, this is good that we're doing this. I'll say new folder, util, and then I'll just say index.js. And I want to show you something with this index.js actually. I'm gonna just do, remember how I was telling you how to export things? You can either do export default or you can do export const. So I'm just going to export this, get by ID. Then I got to bring it into the search component. So we'll import import get by ID. Okay, there's a few things we got to fix here, but first let me import this. Import this from, and back up, go inside of util. I'm gonna just save this real quick. Okay, so all right, So remember how I said, so I had named this, hold on, not that. I had named this index.js. Normally when we import things, we go as far as saying the actual name. We'll just do like index. But I think if I'm right on this, if it's named index, it's automatically gonna look for an index file. So we don't even got to put the name here, and it automatically knows what this get by ID is. It referenced index.js by default. But if we named it something different, we'll have to put the actual file name. So that's why I left out the index.js. It looks like it knows what it is now. So if I go here, if I type mu, okay, so now everything is back into place. So it fetches all of the data, and it knows what the index that get by ID is. So yeah, this is it in React. I'm trying to figure out what else I should do. I'm not even going to mess around with CSS because I feel like that's going to take some time to do. But what I want to do is actually start using. I'm going to start using the other stuff that we learned, like the hooks, like the use state, use context, and use what was it? Yeah, use state, use context, use effect. So with I'm gonna start with use state. I'm literally just gonna bring this in just to just for practice sake. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time where we used use context, and then we gave access to all of the other components like that global state that we did last time. So I'm gonna do a little overview. Go ahead.
Question.
Mhm.
No, I remember you saying that in order to use JavaScript, you had to use the curly brackets.
Mhm.
We didn't use any curly brackets. We used just straight JavaScript, straight up and down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to actually refactor this actually, because we're remember how I told y'all we can just dump all that stuff directly. We could dump all this stuff directly into the different components. Yeah, we're using the curly brackets, right? And we're still using the older way. We're doing inner text and get by ID and all that extra stuff. So we're gonna actually dump the JavaScript in the HTML with the curly brackets. So this does work,
Yo, so
obviously, so we can use it this way, but I recommend using it the other way. Now, the thing about this is this search component, so this search component, this is where that function is to make the API call. And all of this stuff is inside of the stats component. So we know that we need to get all of this information into the stats component before we can actually put it there. We're going to avoid using this get all of this stuff because we don't do this in React. I'm glad you have brought that up. So what I'm gonna do, I guess I still have to bring in context. I'm gonna bring in that context to give it a global, so to give all the components some global state. Then I'm gonna hook up that global state to this stats component. So and whenever the search component updates the global state, you're going to see it change inside of the stats component to show all of this stuff. So let me first bring in context into here. I think we had made a folder. I forgot what we named it. I'm just gonna put it inside a util. Just put it in here because I think this is a good place. Util normally contains stuff that all the other components use. And I'll just name this context.js. And I'm making it capital because it's just by convention, like React stuff, the JavaScript files to be capital. Obviously, the only thing that we didn't make capital was this index.js, but all of the other JavaScript files are all capital. So I'm just do context.js. And I forgot how we did this. I think we did global. We use create context. I forgot exactly how we did that. Hold on. Let me do a quick search real quick. Create context React. How do we do that? Oh, okay, so we just said it. Okay. All right, so we're gonna export, and we'll export constant, the global state, and the global state, and then we'll say use context, and it automatically imports it for us. And then we just want to give it, we're not going to give it anything. I think we were putting a object in here last time, but I'm not even sure if the object is required. I'm just going to say no, not use context. It's create context. Create context like that. Not use context. Not yet. So I don't think we need this value in there, and that's just judging off of this. So we did create context, right? And we're exporting this. Actually, I'll just name this context like that. So I'm going to import this into app.js because now we have to give access to this. I'm going to say import context. We got to put that inside of here like this because we're doing that that other way of exporting. So this came from util and context. Got context in there. Now we have to surround everything with the context provider. And this provides us all of the global state. Let me clean this up. Right. And remember last time we gave it a value. We did a I almost want to teach y'all something different now, but I'm gonna stick to what we did last time. We used use state, and we passed in the different things from use state. So we'll say global here.
Did that automatically add use state from React there? I think I just seen that pop up.
Yeah. Yep, it's automatically adding.
How'd I do that?
Yeah.
How'd I do it like that?
So anytime you use any of those hooks, it does it for you. If I do use effect, you press enter, it pops it right in there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. All this stuff really do help to use a text editor. So then we gave this a value, and this is what all of the other components have access to. And the value that we're going to give it is an object. We'll just name the global object, obj. And I'll say global equals these things here. We're gonna put that directly in there like that. And remember, this syntax is literally the reason we're using this because the value, the key and the value is the same. So we don't need to do this repetitive stuff. We literally just pass this in there. I'm just going to give it, since the key and the value got the same thing, we can just do that. And honestly, to put this all in the same line, I can just do this. So either I can do this inside of this this variable, or I can just dump this directly in there. Like it is all the same stuff, you know. But to keep it separate, I'm just gonna do this. We're given this a value of an object, some global object, and that global object has the global state and the function in order to set the global state. So now I have to give the rest of the components access to this stuff. Let me just close all this stuff. There's too much stuff that's open. I'm going inside of components, and I'm going inside of the search component because this is where we need to, this is one of the places that needs access to that. And I'll say, how do I do this? I think, here we go. So use context. Okay. All right. So we'll say context, right? Equals use context. And we did this a little bit different last time. And the context that we're bringing in is this here. We have to pass this into the use context method. You got to pass this in here, and I think I got to redo this. I think this is up 2 directories or something like that. Well, again, go inside of util and go inside of context. So we use context and we give it the context. We give it like that global state. So now that we know that, now by us setting this up, this variable literally equals this variable right here, the thing that we pass it to value. Those are the exact same thing. And I'll just name this global object actually, just so that we can draw that that link.
Parallel.
So we have this, right? So now inside of here, what I'm going to do is, and actually I'm going to do a little bit more of fancy JavaScript. Since I know that there's 2 things in here, I'm just going to directly pull those things out of the object. Like this gives me back an object. Remember, object destructuring. You can pull out each individual thing. I'm gonna pull out both of these from the object, so I have them in here like this. So I'm pulling global state and set global state out of this object that's going to be returned from this function. So save that. I'm gonna go here and I'm going to set global state. And I'm going to set a few things. I'm going to set all of this stuff in here. Obviously, I'm going to delete some of this, but I'm going to set it to this stuff. I'm going to clean this up also. I'm going to say the background image. Get rid of this. Inner text. Actually, let's name this a little bit different. Let's say I'm going to give it the key of Pokemon. And the value is going to be this stuff here. Now I'll do the same thing with the rest of this. Let me do a control find, replace with nothing. Right. And I'll do the same thing with this.
Replaced it all with class name.
Oh shoot, I definitely did do that. Thank you. It's supposed to be nothing. Okay. And I'll do the same thing here. And I'll replace that with a colon. All right, cool. Use shortcuts is nice. Let's do a comma. And I'll just get rid of the last one. We can put a comma there, but I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't need any of this stuff. I'm just going to delete this for now, and I'll actually paste that over here really quick, just so I can know the names of that stuff. I'm gonna just paste it here. I'm gonna comment this stuff out also. Let's look at the names. So now what I'm doing is, whenever I get the response back, I'm setting the global state of all of this stuff to what's coming back from like the actual data and stuff. So now that I'm setting the global context, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in this same thing into the stats component and use that stuff in here. So I gotta bring that in. I also have to bring this in, like this. To be honest, we don't even use this global here, so we don't even need that. We can just delete that out. That's still gonna be the same stuff. But we'll bring that in here like this. And we're not going to use set global state, so I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need to pull that part out. Save this. We got to bring in use context. Since we didn't type it in, it didn't autocomplete. I'm just going to erase it and then type it again. Use context. So now it brought it in up top here. So now we have this. We know that this is going to be an object as well. because we're setting, let me see, yeah, we're setting it to this object. So this is going to be an object with all of that other stuff inside of it. So I'm going to pull everything out of this object. No, not that. I think I closed, yeah. So I'm gonna pull everything out of here. We have Pokemon. There's definitely a way to a shortcut to do this, but I don't know it. I'm just gonna throw all of this in here. Try to clean it up a little. Pokemon, we're pulling out. We're also pulling out Pokemon ID and this. Pull that one out. And obviously I gotta put commas at the end of all of these also. I'm literally just hitting like return and it's deleting all of that stuff and going to the next line. So that, let's do this. And let's put commas after everything. Get rid of, wait, that can stay. So now we pulled out all of that different stuff here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start filling this stuff into this stuff here. Let me see. So let's start with the defense. The defense is here. The attack is here. And we gotta put that inside of curly brackets. The type is here. I just want to test this out real quick because I wrote a lot of JavaScript without testing anything. So I'm gonna test this out. If anything, these three values should be the only ones to fill up. Let me go to here. I should not have written so much JavaScript because now I got errors everywhere. Okay. Let's refresh one more time. All right, so global as it is undefined. Global is undefined. So I think I didn't give this a default value. I think maybe that's what it is. I'm gonna give this a default value of just an object. Let me see if that, yeah, that cleared it up. And I'm just gonna get rid of that stuff. Okay. So if I do mu, okay, so it filled up this stuff here. Now I'm gonna fill in the rest of the stuff. Where's it? Search is here. No, not that. Stats. So we need HP here. Weight here. Let's see, height is here. Name is here. Wait, is this one? No. This is the Pokemon ID. This is the Pokemon name. Pokemon ID is here. Pokemon, I'm not even sure where this goes, to be honest. Let me just look at that real quick. Not even sure. Pokemon. This was, the background image. Okay. So this is going to be the background image that this Pokemon here. So what I'm going to do, so by default, we had gave, okay, so this isn't a whole different component. That background image is for this here, for ref, right? So if we did mu, it looked like it already filled some of the stuff in, honestly. Let's do Pikachu. If I can spell this right. I don't even spell that right. I don't know how to spell Pikachu. No clue. Let's see.
P-I-K-A-C-H-U.
Okay. P-I-K-A-C-H-U, Pikachu. Okay. So all of this stuff fills out. Now we have to connect this last component, this ref component, so that we can change the background image to what's coming back from the API call. So I'm just going to copy and paste all this stuff. Copy this, I'll put that inside of here. Put this up top. Also my JavaScript first before my CSS. Now let's go to here and copy this. Put that here. And this minus all of the extra stuff. Put that here. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. To do that, I'm literally just pressing Command Z. It just deletes all of it at the same time. So we got Pokemon here. Now we have to give, I think the background image that comes from here. So we gotta, with the ID of Pokemon, we gotta give this a background image. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this a little bit different. I'm gonna give this a default value a little bit different. I'm not gonna do it in the CSS because I know I have to interact with that background image inside of JavaScript. So instead of putting the A, and it's gonna disappear here. Instead of putting it in CSS, I'm gonna put it directly in the JavaScript. And I'll say it was this one that had got the background image. So let me give this a style, use a style, and then we give it an object. I'm just gonna put the object inside of there. And we did, let me do a Control Z real quick. Okay. So background image, just gonna copy this. And I'll put that here. And remember, in React, we gotta do camel case because we can't have that other stuff. And I'm gonna give it the URL. And since I know that this is gonna change, I'm gonna put this inside of the backticks to put this in as a variable. So I'll do that, and I will, let me think about this. Oh my. Yeah, so this whole thing gets changed. This is the variable. When we use backtick,
put it in the brackets, yeah.
$, yeah, brackets. And I'll just say BG image. I'll do Pokemon here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna, okay, so I'm gonna do Pokemon. So if I do Pokemon here, right, nothing's gonna show up, right? So I'm gonna put some more JavaScript in here. When nothing shows up, that's equivalent to a false value. Remember we were doing Booleans and stuff, like an empty string is a false value. Now, something that I'm not sure if I taught, I sort of taught. Remember we were doing like true, and then put an or sign, and then like false as like a Boolean, and like that'll say, okay, if one of these are actually true. Now, it looks something like this, like if like false or true, they'll do something. We use those ampersands, like, but this is just the or. Now, when we use or, what this is technically doing here is, and I spelled false wrong. What this is technically doing, right, is trying to figure out what to return, what to give us back. You can think of this as its own function. It looks at this value. It says, okay, is this value true or false? Okay, it's false. Let's go to the next value. Is this value true or false? This is true. Okay, we're gonna return the true value. So this turns into this. Just remember that. Like anytime you see false or true or something like that, it turns into the true value. So since this is an empty string and it's going to turn out to be false, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say Pokemon, which is going to be false. Either we're going to return Pokemon or a truthy value, which is going to be BG image. And BG image is not going to be a empty string. BG image is going to be this here. So it's going to decide whether or not to give it Pokemon as an input or BG image, and it's going to automatically default to BG image because this is a truthy value. And if I save this, I'm going to delete this. I save this, we should get the egg to pop up. Why is the egg not popping up? It's not popping up for some reason. Let me test this out. This is supposed to work. I'm not sure why it's not. I'm gonna do test. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just put a debugger here. See what test equals. So test, yeah, it equals this. So it's supposed to default to this. So I'm not sure why it's not showing the egg. And it probably has something to do with like the actual state. Actually, that's probably what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'll say, I think this is where the React DOM come into place. Like it don't want to render it even though it's there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force it to be on the screen by using use state. And use state, I'm gonna give this I'm not even sure this is gonna work. Actually, this may actually mess things up. Let me think about this for a little bit. And this is when you start really thinking into React. Like what is React actually doing? This was supposed to show this string here. We even saw it when we tested this out. Like it defaulted to this string, but for some reason it's not showing that. And even if I do test here, like if I do this and I do, let me see, I'm gonna put a debugger here, right? Test is that. I'm gonna hit play, and we still don't show the egg. What I'm gonna do next to test this out, just to debug, instead of putting test here, I'm literally just gonna put that string in here. I'm gonna see if this works by itself really quick. Because maybe this is the problem. Maybe I'm just not referencing it the correct way, and that was the problem. So let me get rid of this. Let's figure out how to do this properly, because obviously this is wrong. Yeah, it's not showing. Maybe this has to be in quotes like this. Let's see if that is it. No, that's not it. So the next thing I always do is I go to Google, React, set background image. And that's exactly what I did. Almost. So background image, colon.
Pluses? What's the pluses?
Yeah, it's just concatenating it. Like it's the same. Like we did a shortcut here. I'll try that actually with the pluses. I doubt it's gonna. Let me see. We did this. I'm just gonna literally copy this.
Oh, you did the second one. You did the second one under the bottom. The div styles.
Oh right, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the one you did.
Right, exactly. And this should work. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it how I have it. I'm not even gonna do that. So I have this. Right. Let me actually do it. I think I had it that way already.
I was gonna say just copy and paste that mode.
Yes. That should have worked. That's not working. It's still not working. Okay. So let me go to the actual this. So inside of ref, let me go to the actual HTML. Maybe this background image, it has it right here. Why is it not loading? That is so weird. We went up to directories. We went inside of assets, and then we bring in egg.png. Yeah, I'm kind of stumped on this one, but this one I'm gonna do. I'm still gonna do what I did last time. and I'm gonna see if this works if I type in a Pokemon. And if this do work, I'm hoping this works. We're gonna try to figure out what's wrong with this. I'm just gonna type in Mew because that's the easiest one to spell, and it does not bring that in. But no, it still doesn't bring that in. We're using Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Background. We have this. That background image. That's spelled out the right way. Pretty sure.
You did because it showed up as a in the CSS.
Right.
As an element style. So you know you did it right.
Yeah, and this is here. So localhost. Oh, hold on. Is that okay? So if I hover over this, it says localhost assets egg.png. Let me. That was localhost 3000. I think it has something to do with the server. Let me check this out. So localhost 3000 slash I think I'm going slash
PNG
slash
assets.
It is supposed to be slash assets.
Slash eggs.png.
Slash assets. A.png. So weird. Okay. So we have this background, and this background image is set inside of the CSS file. So and it says localhost static. Okay, this is coming from a different place. Localhost static media Pokedex. Okay, so React put this inside of whenever it built, it looked like it put this inside of its own like location. So and it gave it like this number at the end. Let me do another search. React set background image for local file for local image. Can't load a local background image in React.js. Okay, perfect. So let's go down to the solution. Answer is okay.
You forgot to import the image.
Import it. Yeah. Remember how I said React brought that in from its own location? That means that we don't really have a reference to where that location is. So BG image from /. I go up another one. It's inside of assets. And then from there, assets. Why is it not showing?
Egg.png.
.png. Okay, cool. So we'll do, let me delete this. We'll do, so now we're going to reference what we just imported. Let's see. Yes, perfect.
Boom, bang, bing, boom, boom.
Now we have to get the Mew to show up. Let's see. So
you got to reference that site.
let's see.
I guess you should.
What were you saying?
No, I was asking if you had to reference the site, like the website.
Oh yeah. So this should say like the actual URL. This Pokemon. I think I know how to fix this, and but I think I know how to fix this. Let me quickly test real quick to make sure that that shows what it's supposed to show, and that was inside of search, right? So let me just put a debugger here. Let me just copy it. I'm just gonna copy and paste that. I know it's gonna hit that debugger. So I'm gonna paste in this, and yeah, that's this. So that is the URL. Okay. So what I think is happening, and this is based off of theory. And I think it might actually work. So let me go back inside of what was it? Ref here. All right. So what I think is happening is React is not it's not updating. So first of all, we know that this is not being updated. We know that Pokemon is being changed, but we don't know. But we don't see an actual update inside of this component. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a use effect and a combination of use effect and use state. And I might be overkilling this, but I feel like this is like the best way to do this. So I'm gonna do a use state here, and I'm gonna default, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna name this BG, and just gotta be named different. BG image from asset. I'm gonna default this to BG image from asset, and I'll have a set BG image here as well. And let me see if this works first before I continue. Play. It's not work. Yeah, it does work. So we got this here. So we're using use state now. We're technically using use state because we're using here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the use effect. Do use effect, and I'm gonna fire this function every time global is changed. This variable right here. So anytime this variable is changed, what I'm gonna do is set this to global state.pokemon. I'm just gonna pull it out. Global state.pokemon. And I think this might work. So this is referencing the state. So anytime this changes, we'll update the state to the Pokemon URL. Let's see if this works. I feel like I might be tying in way too much stuff. Pokemon is not defined.
Hey Isaiah, it's 11:48. Just want to give you a time check.
Thank you. Thank you. Not defined.
Could you just use Pokemon in the use state?
Say it again.
Could you just use Pokemon in the use state? So change background image to Pokemon, whatever Pokemon is.
Yeah, but I think the problem is that, like, so when we had set, so we do that, I feel like it's gonna do the exact same thing. And it's because, like it was saying Pokemon wasn't defined, and that's because we set global to an empty object. Like there is no Pokemon here. See, so what I'm thinking is to pull it out, right, and then say if Pokemon. So if Pokemon is defined, we'll then go and update the state this way. I think that was it. Okay, Pokemon is assigned a value but never used. That's fine.
We don't do set background image to change it.
Right.
So set
right.
background image global Pokemon.
Thank you. Yep. Let me see. Pokemon is not defined. Why I keep saying that? Let me just make sure Pokemon is not defined. Okay, we're using Pokemon here. That's why. That is why, right here. So
yeah, we don't need the or.
We need that. Right. So that was it. If I do here, it still did not do it. Errors. This was just it not coming back. Let me put the debugger here. Let me see what's going on. If I do new, we hit the debugger, and we have Pokemon. Okay, it has a URL inside here also. Wait, why is that? Okay, I set that all together. I should have never did that. So I put URL inside of that string, and I also set it up to be in here as well. So I don't need to do all of this. Rid of that. Good thing for that debugger. Let's save this, and we'll actually do that again. So it's undefined at first. Oh, wait, it set it actually. All right, so that was it. Let me get rid of that debugger because that thing is it's just gonna keep hitting that debugger. Let me save that. Okay. So yeah. So, go back to Pikachu. Perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is thinking in React. I'm like, okay, it didn't update state, so now let's force the state to update. Use state, it updates automatically every time, and then we use global, this use effect here to set that every time global changes inside of use context. This was a lot just to do one component. I feel like this is overkill. I feel like there's an easier solution to this, but I can't think of one.
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch this joint.
Yeah, this was.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
This really was bad. Let me, and I'm gonna just want to try something out real quick because I feel like I did way too much stuff. I'm gonna just do this.
10:52. You still wanna?
Pokemon.
I guess you're gonna have to leave soon.
Right. Yeah. I'm just gonna test this one thing out, and if this, I need that back in. If this don't work, then I'll just leave the same. Take that out. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I didn't have to do all the extra stuff. All right, cool. So the reason I even thought about, so I'm delete this. Don't remember any of this crap. Like that stuff. So back to what we was doing before, this or that. I knew this was gonna work. So the reason it wasn't working before is because we didn't delete that URL here. So it didn't know how to reference it because it had URL, and then URL again. And that's why it wasn't working before. But this works. So.
Oh yeah. We ran into a similar error before, I remember.
So that works. So now we built that Pokemon app in React. Yeah, I would definitely go through and use these things. And I do see the time. One other thing I want to just show really quick is actually we're not gonna have time to do that. So the next class, wait, what's today? What's today's date?
22nd.
So if I look at the map, and the interview is gonna be next week on Sunday. Okay. On Tuesday, we'll continue with this. I'm gonna put this code in the Google Drive. We'll continue with this, except for we're not gonna use fetch. We're gonna use something called Axios, and it's gonna be almost exactly the same. So we'll fetch it. We'll use a different way to make an API call just so y'all can see it being used. And
is that like identical to fetch?
Right, it's almost exactly the same, to be honest. And like it's easier now with fetch. We had to do this extra step. We had to like use response.json. Like with Axios, you don't gotta do that. Axios is it does this part for you. So. So yeah, we'll do it on Tuesday. It'll be quick, and I honestly I can literally do it in 5 minutes, probably less than that. But we got the orientation coming up, so we'll do that with Axios. We'll also learn about use reducer. That's one that we didn't use, and we'll also learn about no, that's it. Just use reducer. I don't want to overdo it on Tuesday because it's only an hour. Any questions with it? I know that this was a lot. Y'all got to rewatch it, but like, yeah. Anything off the top of your head before? I'll take like 2 questions and then I'll have the orientation.
Yeah. This was cool.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. I just have to watch it again, man, so you can get to your orientation.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Can I just chime in? I want to just tell everybody that I appreciate everybody's contributions over these past many months since the beginning of the year. I'm gonna move to the other class, but I've definitely appreciated learning with you guys, and I hope to get a chance to work with you all in the future, either in the development community or working with our young people. And again, shout out to Coach Jay for his awesome work, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully in our meeting later on tonight.
Yeah, hey, anybody, man, if y'all want to reach out to me on Instagram, social media, or anything like that, man, please do. Like, I feel like we all on the same accord. So if y'all need any help from me or anything like that, please reach out.
Yeah. And quick before what's called it? If y'all want to join the next class, it's gonna be on a different link. I don't know if y'all saw it, but today is the last orientation for the next class. So if y'all are busy, I understand, I can still add y'all without going, but if y'all did want to go, then the link is in that orientation group chat. So it's really up to y'all, since we already was in class for 2 hours already. So yeah.
I didn't see it. Did you just add it? Because somebody was asking for it in the link.
It's the same. It's the same. I'm about to copy and paste it in there. So you're saying, but it's up to y'all if y'all want to go. It's gonna be almost the same setup except for what I explained earlier in the class. It's gonna be a whole bunch of projects.
So if I went yesterday, I don't have to go today?
No, you don't have to go. No. You just go to one. You don't have to go to both. All right.
So you gonna ask the bro 350? You crazy. Anyway. All right, Isaiah. Yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next class. I'm gonna go to orientation too. So I'll be here.
Yes, I will be there too. Have a good weekend, guys.
I may or may not be there. I may probably be there though.
You don't have. It's up to you. You don't have.
No.
As I said, can I skip the orientation, but just sign me up just in case?
This was already hours. It's fine.
All right.
Go ahead and run that link for me. I can't find it for some reason.
I'm gonna drop it. I'm about to drop it again. I know everybody gonna be like, "Where's the link?" So yeah.
All right, bet.
All right. See you.
Thank you.